Monsters of Man was originally a hobby, and like all hobbies, they tend to catch fire and then they turn into something a lot bigger. I was wondering if I could create a highly compelling feature film with high-end visual effects, great performances, huge production values that were more in line with a studio-backed film, but within a budget that was very ambitious. Was it going to be a great calling card for Hollywood? Would I make money from it? Was it even worth doing? So the only real way to find out was to just bank on myself, go and make it, and just see what happens. My aim from the very start was to try and think as big as I could, think smart, and put the dollars we had on the screen in front of the camera and not wasted behind it. We started by stripping down our production crew to a really efficient commando-style A-team. We then stripped down 4 red cameras to absolute minimum and went super lean, but without compromising our creative decisions. We also made huge savings of not building huge sets, not hiring studios, or shooting scenes on green screen and having to replace hundreds of backgrounds. We decided to shoot in the actual locations depicted in the script for real. So we ended up shooting in Cambodia for 90% of the film. And in doing so, we ended up with huge and amazing visuals that no way we could have afforded if we built sets this large or tried to recreate in post. And the savings in this area alone allowed me to think a lot bigger from a post-production perspective. High-end visual effects was another great challenge. Some of the quotes we were getting in were, $1 million, $2 million, some at $3 million. Once the edit was locked, we ended up with around 2,000 visual effects shots. Everything from robots running around trying to kill people through to creating military-style aircraft, painting out hundreds of logos on clothing, signs, extending backgrounds, legs blowing off, exploding buildings. The list went on and on. We couldn't afford to throw our job out to a big post house, so we decided to do as much as we could in-house. My visual effects supervisor, Rael Teague, and I knew it would be a ton of work managing and utilising high-end freelance visual effects artists and animators and designers that were literally scattered around the world. And this is where Frame.io came in to help us achieve this goal. What caught our attention early was Frame.io's amazing collaboration tools that we've been using for our TV commercials. And the other great thing was the integration with Final Cut Pro, which we were huge fans of, especially when exporting clips directly from our timeline to Frame.io. And the return trip when the visual effects were approved was as simple as dragging the clip back onto our local RAIDs, then dropping instantly back into our master timeline, but knowing everything's still safely up on the Frame.io cloud. Frame.io in any web browser, as well as the iPhone and iPad apps, made life so much easier. I was able to share and communicate in detail my notes with all the artists around the world. Being able to draw on the screen, creating shapes, adding pointers, and being able to show the artist exactly what I needed on the exact frame saved us a ton of time. Sending notes like, make the head bigger, paint that sign out, add some trees here. Animation's a bit clunky here. That's great, awesome, approved. I so loved hitting that approve button. I can say very confidently that working with Frame.io saved us weeks, probably months of time, which equates to tens of thousands of dollars saved. The speed and dollar savings are undeniable. The upload and download speeds are too fast to ignore. The password security is top shelf. The collaborative tools are easy and fast to use. The whole Frame.io platform ticks so many boxes for us that it's sort of crazy for us not to use it. And because a movie needs to recoup so much money to break even, especially in a content-flooded and oversaturated marketplace, they're utilising as many clever tools to be able to create a great end product for the least amount of money has to be the only way moving forward. Monsters of Man was released December 8, 2020, and amazingly hit #1 on all popular platforms. And we could not have done this without the incredible work from our cast, crew, and our post-production teams, and the amazing support from Frame.io.